How's it going, everyone? ND Sean 45 coming at you. It's time for me to answer another question here in my Q&A series. But before I do that, I want to give a special shout out and plug to the Dose Leprechauns podcast. Now, I don't know these guys personally. I've only talked to them in passing on, Facebook and social media and whatnot. I'm not associated with them. I've just listened to their show a few times, and let me tell you guys something. These guys do one heck of a job, and they put on a great show. The discussion on there is incredible, and as a matter of fact, they have a lot of cool guests on there too. I think this last episode they just had Ned Bolkar from the '88 National Championship team on there. I have yet to listen to that one, but I knew he was going to be a guest on there. And also, my good friend who runs the YouTube channel Shake Down the Thunder Productions, he's now joined forces with these guys. So of course the show is going to get even better now that they've added him on. But anyway, to all the guys at the Dose Leprechauns podcast, you guys do a great job, and I look forward to listening to more shows out of you. So again, guys, that's the Dose Leprechaun podcast, Dose Leprechauns podcast. Make sure all you Irish fans go and give these guys a listen. It's worth it. So, with that said, on to answering the question for this video. And this is a two-part question that comes from a user who calls himself Good Game. And his first question is this: Sean, what do you think of the Irish's playoff chances, or national championship chances? Well, Good Game, I think our chances are very good. And the main reason for that being is this is the most balanced Notre Dame team we've seen in a long time. We really don't have to rely on one side of the ball over the other. Both sides, the offense and defense, are getting it done. And as we've seen all season long, we can go toe-to-toe with anybody. Now, of course, here in the playoffs, the competition is going to get tougher, but that's just a given. But I think we're up for the challenge. We've got some guys that can be physical. We've got speed. We've got Ian Book, who has done a phenomenal job since he's taken over. He's made some mistakes, obviously, but the bottom line is we've got the firepower to compete with anybody in the country. And we're going to get our chance come December 29th, and hopefully on January 7th after that. Now, the second part of his question is one that I've been looking forward to answering for a while now, just because I get to share my roots with you guys. And the second part to Good Game's question is, Sean, how long have you been a Notre Dame fan? Well, Good Game, the answer to that question is very simple. Pretty much my whole life. You see, I was born into a Notre Dame family, and it all started with my paternal grandparents. See, my dad's side of the family is Catholic, even though we've had some wander away from it. And I know that probably doesn't say much because I'm Missouri Synod Lutheran, but that's I'm going to get off track if I keep talking about that. But my paternal grandparents are Catholic, and as a matter of fact, my grandmother, God rest her soul, she was a founding member of her church. And what her and my grandfather used to do, but this is back in the 30s I'm talking here, they would actually drive local priests from here in the Quad City area up to South Bend so they could attend Mass at the Basilica. And so Notre Dame has just been a part of our family ever since. I've actually had a couple of uncles graduate from Notre Dame and several cousins as well. And myself, I even applied for Notre Dame after I graduated high school. And I basically did it for kicks, shits and gigs. I knew I wasn't going to get in because my grades were pretty good, but not that good. I mean, Notre Dame requires a lot of, they have a lot of big requirements you have to have, and well, I wasn't anywhere near close to any of that, so I wasn't surprised when the rejection letter came. But anyway, I pretty much been a Notre Dame fan my whole life. It wasn't until about age 7 when I started getting into Notre Dame football. Basically the difference between me now and me then is me then at age 7 really didn't care if we lost. Compared to now, me at age 32, going to be 33 next month, I get pissed off after a loss now. But it was really around 93 when, the game of the century against Florida State, that's when I really started getting into it, and it just kind of progressed from there. My first time being on the Notre Dame campus was in 1997 when I was 11 years old. And it was pretty awesome, actually. Through through a connection that my family has at Notre Dame, I was actually able to sit in and watch a practice, which was just at that time one of the biggest thrills of my life. It was awesome. I got to meet Ron Paulus that day. I got to meet Autry Denson, and then linebacker Bobby Howard, who went on to have a little stint in the NFL with the Chicago Bears, actually. And I got my picture taken with Ron Paulus, got Autry Denson's autograph in a picture. And Bobby Howard, I got to tell you guys a story because this is so funny. You know, when you're 11 years old and you're watching these guys on TV week in and week out, you know, you're starstruck by them. And, you know, when you're that young, a part of you doesn't exactly know what to say or how to react. And I remember when I go up to Bobby Howard to get his autograph, he says, "Hey, bud, how are you doing?" And again, I'm not knowing what to say. And so I say, in regards to our connection, he's standing right there. I go, "I work for him," when I meant to say I'm with him. So, but yeah, and I look back on that to this day and I say, really? Did I just tell Bobby Howard that I work for our family connection? Did I really just say that to him? So I felt pretty foolish at that moment, but it was pretty awesome to get a chance to meet all those guys. But it wasn't until 2 years later, in 1999, that's when I went to my first game. And I remember this very well. It was a Halloween weekend, 1999, against Navy. And I just remember, this is the crazy part. It was projected to be very cold forecast. We're talking like mid-30s here. Because we all know how northern Indiana gets in the fall time, in late October, early November. But we go up there that weekend, and we're bringing jackets and gloves and all that stuff, and it was freaking 87 degrees that day. I was actually hot, and you didn't need any winter stuff whatsoever. So that was a surprise. But that first game that I ever went to, it was so awesome. It was typical Notre Dame giving you a heart attack fashion. Anybody who remembers that game against Navy, you know what I'm talking about. Back and forth all throughout the whole game, and then in the closing minutes of the fourth quarter, it came to Notre Dame they're trailing. It was 24-21 Navy at this point in the game. It comes to Notre Dame facing a 4th and 11, and they have to pick this up or else the game's over. Jarius Jackson throws to Joey Getherall. Getherall picks up the first down by an inch. A freaking inch. Keeps the drive alive, and then eventually Jarius Jackson throws the game-winning touchdown to tight end Dan O'Leary. Just an exciting, thrilling game, and that was the first game I ever went to. It was awesome. And it's just too bad that nobody's posted that game here on Facebook, on YouTube yet, because I really would like to see footage of that game again. It was so much fun. And what was awesome about it was my first game. I was excited. I remember one of my good friends even, I made a $5 bet with him leading up to that game, and he just said to me, "Sean, Notre Dame's not going to beat Navy. You're going to be out $5 there, bud." Well, Travis, if you're watching this video, you still owe me that $5, dude, because you never paid up. So I want my $5 back. I want my $5 that you owe me, pal. But no, just again, good game. It's always been a part of my family. We have the ties to the university. I mean, my grandparents, like I said, not only did they give local priests a ride up to South Bend, but another cool thing, they actually were in, when Notre Dame Stadium was first built, they were in that stadium during that first season when Newt Rockne was still the coach. So just, it's family ties. It's always been a part of our family. And, ever since I got hooked on it, I stayed hooked. Or as a good buddy of mine always said, I jumped on the bandwagon and never got off. So yeah, it's just a big part of my life, big part of my family. It's one of those things that brings us together every year, and just, it just makes us closer, that kind of thing. But I'm not trying to sound like a cliche here, but I really do mean all that stuff. It's very true. So yeah, I guess I could have just summed up and said I've been a Notre Dame fan my whole life, but what fun is that when you have a story to tell? You know what I mean? So, yeah, dude, thank you so much for that question. That, all you guys, your questions are special, don't get me wrong, but this one, it's a very special one for me to answer because like I said, I got a chance to share my roots with you guys. And, what more can you say? So, there you go, guys. That's it for this question. I will catch you guys for the next one in a couple days from now. And until then, God bless and go Irish. This is ND Sean 45 signing off. Yes, I went out of order. Forgive me. It's morning. I just got off work. Catch you guys later.